Are you thinking about moving to Oregon and the Corvallis area is high on your list? Well, we've moved over 400 families in the Mid-Willamette Valley, and we can help you too. We reached out to our clients and friends and said, hey, if you're willing to go on camera and tell your Oregon story, we'll honor your time by donating to a local nonprofit, Jackson Street Youth Services. About 15 of our friends responded enthusiastically, so let's hear what these people have to say about their move here and their life in the area. We'll do our best to show you places on the screen when they're mentioned, and there'll be links in the description below. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. I'm Michael Krasilovsky with Team K Realty out of Remax in Corvallis, and we're joined today by Marcia. And Marcia, we know each other from a previous career, which makes this really fun. And I appreciate you being up for talking with our viewers today about your life in Oregon, because you've been here for decades, you've raised a family here, you were a public school teacher, and you're now retired here. You've got very different things to say in a different story than many of the people that I've interviewed already. Thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome.
Marcia, if you could kick it off and tell us a little bit about when you moved here, why you did, and just what your Oregon origin story is in that regard.
I grew up in the Willamette Valley. My grandparents came here from Wyoming and bought a farm. And so my grandparents were here, had their children here. So I grew up in the Willamette Valley, mostly around Almsville and Staten and Scioto, in that area.
Sure.
Mark was born and raised in Corvallis.
He is.
He's a Corvallisite. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, from the get-go. And Mark is my husband. And we met at Oregon State University. And I loved Corvallis when I was at Oregon State. And when Mark and I graduated, we tried to find jobs in this area, but so did everyone else. And we ended up moving to Washington State. We lived there for 9 years, and he had a job opportunity in Arizona. We moved to Tempe for 3 years.
Just a little bit different than
Just
Valley.
a little bit different. There was something cheerful about waking up to sunshine every day, but we didn't really love Arizona. We're just Oregonians. And so when we had the opportunity to move back to Oregon, we knew that's where we wanted to raise our family.
I love it. You can probably tell these aren't scripted. I'm asking someone that I've known for 16 years, why'd you move here? And she's, I was raised here. It's all coming back to me now. We're just diving right in, throwing a microphone on and going, and that way it's organic. So you had the opportunity to grow up in this area, and then you deliberately came back, which I think really says something. So what are the things that made you really yearn to come back to the Mid-Valley? What made this feel like home for you?
Mark and I have done a lot of traveling, world traveling. Been to Australia and all over Europe and Scandinavia. We've done a lot of traveling. Every time we come home from a trip, it just feels like home.
Yeah, I can relate to that, actually.
Yeah.
I remember coming back from Arizona a couple years ago, and Ray and I were driving up from the Eugene Airport, and it was a rainy, misty scene with clouds. And as soon as we saw Mary's Peak off to the left, we were just like this is home.
Yeah, and just flying in Portland Airport over the Willamette River Valley and seeing all the farmland looking like quilts.
Yes.
It's just beautiful.
We're going to get emotional just talking about how much we love trees.
And some people get depressed with gray or drizzle, but to me, it feels cozy.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk a lot about fear no rain.
Yeah.
When we're on Zoom calls with our clients who are thinking about moving here.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel like it's oppressive here. I feel like it's mild.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it to me either.
Yeah.
But I grew up here, so I'm used to it. And the green is the payoff.
The green is the payoff.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to have to start putting that on t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's true.
It is. Yeah.
Even in the wintertime, it's not like it's gray and dead outside. It's still lush, even in the wintertime, just
gorgeous.
like it is in the summer. Just
the trees, and we have such a good variety of trees, deciduous and conifer trees, and the amazing branch patterns, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah. We had the privilege of helping Jennifer do a couple of real estate transactions, who is the urban forester.
Yeah.
And so I'll link to the video that we did interviewing her about Tree City USA and our Arboretum Day. I'm messing it up, but we'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when you moved back here, What stage was that really? That was before you and Mark had started your family?
We had one daughter and I was expecting number two.
Okay.
So we had three girls altogether. So number two was on the way. And another big draw is that our parents were here and we really wanted to. We like the idea of multi-generational raising children. We don't all live together, but just having grandparents in our kids' lives was important to us.
Absolutely.
And we missed that a lot when we were in Washington and especially in Arizona because that was a plane ticket home. So we really, and after living in Tempe, in the Phoenix Valley, at that time, even there were over 1 million people, and we just knew that isn't where we wanted to raise our kid. We like small town USA. We like it.
And I like to think that Corvallis and the other communities in the Mid-Valley, they feel like small towns, even though they're really small cities.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it's funny to have people refer to the city of Corvallis and like, it feels like a town to me.
Yeah.
Like I think of city, I think of Portland. That is not what this is. But there's definitely a vibe to that.
But we've got some city perks
Mhm.
too. We've got good restaurants. We've got theaters. The university is a huge draw. I think that adds a whole nother exciting element with college athletics and that. So we get the best of both. We don't have the horrible traffic, and yet we have a lot of other fringe benefits that bigger cities might have.
Absolutely. So we should make a point of revisiting some of those topics you just mentioned, theater, for example. So let's put a pin in that. When you moved back here, refresh my memory, were you a math and science teacher or a home ec teacher at the time?
I had been.
Had been. Okay.
But I was trying to take a leave from full-time public school teaching while I was raising my children.
Okay.
And so I also have a master's degree in child development.
I'd forgotten that apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for 7 years in the middle of my teaching career, I taught preschool.
Gotcha.
That way I could take my children with me and still have some money coming in.
Yeah.
Use my teacher juices.
And Marcia and I taught at the same school, which is originally how we know each other.
Yes.
She was a mentor teacher to me, even though I know there was a more official term.
Oh,
yes.
Well.
When you were making the decision to come back here, and I don't want to lead the witness as I say this, but was the school district a big part of that?
Huge.
Huge part of that.
Huge part of that.
Okay.
I did my student teaching in Corvallis at Crescent Valley High School.
Of course.
And I loved teaching there. And everybody at the time I was graduating from college wanted to get a job in Corvallis School District. It was one of the best paid school districts in the state. Quality educators, people stayed forever. It was really hard to get in the door.
I remember the same thing.
Yeah.
Corvallis is what I refer to as being a dream district. And I remember at the OPEF, the Oregon Professional Educators Fair, the job fair in Portland, having a big line for teachers applying to Corvallis, and then later on not believing that I even got the job. So that was a huge part, not just for you to be teaching in the district, but to be considering raising your children in the district. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay.
That was a big draw.
Yeah. And I think it is for most people, but again, it's different for me to get on a YouTube video and say, the schools are awesome, than to have somebody else see themselves in your school. Yeah.
And the schools are struggling over different issues all across the state and across the United States. And funding is a big problem.
Yeah.
But I think Corvallis does a good job of mitigating those problems.
We are still a place that people regard as having some of the best public schools in the States.
Yes, absolutely.
On the housing side of things, when you and Mark moved back here, do you mind telling us a little bit about what neighborhood you ended up moving into and what neighborhoods you've lived in? Because I know where you are now, but I'm not sure if that's where you've been forever.
We first lived over in the Village Green area, not too far from Shelderland.
Of course.
Yeah. And I hadn't started teaching there yet. So when I was ready to go back to public school teaching, I thought, wouldn't it be great if I got a job at Shelderland and I could walk there? So
yes, it would be.
So we lived in one of the little 1,000 square foot homes, but it had a really big backyard and the girls could play soccer back there. We built a tree house. had a really nice big flat backyard, which was super fun.
So that's got to be one of the like 50s and 60s ranches, one of the Harmon homes.
Yes, it was a Harmon home.
That's a classic construction product. It's a classic home type in Corvallis because there was a big builder. I think it was John Harmon in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And I think I might have a video of an example Harmon home. If I do, I'll put a link on the screen. So that's fun. So you were living in one of those for a while. Small house, big yard. Totally.
Right. 1 bathroom. By then we had 3 daughters. Mark never got to use the bathroom.
He just hosed off in the yard.
Anyway, it was a tight squeeze. It was a good home for our kids, and it was a good neighborhood. They went to Fairplay Elementary School, which isn't open anymore, but that was a great little school. And then they got to go to Sheldon Middle School and Crescent Valley High School, and those were all really good choices for us. So we liked the neighborhood. We loved our neighbors. We wanted to move them with us when we moved, but we outgrew the house.
I can see that. Yes. And we're not going to talk about addresses or street names. We want to have some semblance of internet privacy.
Okay.
Are you comfortable talking about the general neighborhood that you live in now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the move, I'm assuming, from Village Green to Northwest Corvallis. What are some of the things that you love about that neighborhood? And I'm thinking you're in Witham Hill, but no, it's on the other side of Circle from Witham Hill, right? What do we call that
The
whole
woods.
zone? The woods. Okay.
The woods. Elmwood, Dogwood, Firwood, Norwood, all
Thank
the
you.
woods.
Yeah.
So the neighborhood we call ourselves the woods.
There's many Corvallis neighborhoods have this phenomenon.
Yeah.
There's no sign that says welcome to insert name here.
Yeah.
But colloquially in conversation, we all say, oh, this is...
I live in the woods.
There you go. Yeah.
So Mark and I started scoping out neighborhoods when we were thinking about finding something a little bit bigger. And we really liked the woods. One thing about Village Green area is there aren't very many trees. And we didn't have air conditioning. And in the summer it was hot. And we just thought, man, if we just lived in a house that had some trees around to provide some shade, that would be a lot more comfortable and getting some breeze and whatever.
Well,
so
you mission accomplished.
Yeah,
that.
we did.
Yeah.
We definitely did. And so we found this, actually, our realtor at the time, which sadly wasn't you, but you weren't selling real estate then.
Well, that predates me. But
yeah.
I thought you were going to say something different. I thought you were going to say that was someone else that I had known that we had lost, actually.
It wasn't that one. I can't think of her name now.
It's okay.
Anyway, she started finding addresses for us, having us drive by, asking us if we want to look. So she gave us this address and we drove by and we're like, nope, this is not it. No street appeal. It was painted black. The couple that lived there, the husband had been terminally ill, and so the house was just a lot of deferred maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very politically correct way of painting a picture right there. Yeah.
So we didn't even look at it. And then, but we kept our eye. We were driving on Circle and we saw a sign that said open house. It was pointing up into the woods. And we thought, oh, let's go check it out. What's for sale up there? And it was that house again. And we thought, okay, it's just open. We'll just go walk through. And we walked through it and we just thought, this house has good bones. It has got a great floor plan. It's in a great location. It just needs lots of elbow grease.
That's like the Corvallis special right there.
Yeah.
Maybe more, but
Yeah.
slow growth community, people live in their homes often for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's become this joke that, oh, you're going to love the location. The house will have good bones, but you need to do some paint and flooring and save up for a kitchen and bathroom updates.
That's
That's like the
exactly
Corvallis
what we
special.
did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. We had like phase 1, phase 2,
Yep.
phase 3, as we could save up some money. But the really great thing was the little house that we had over in Village Green had appreciated in value so much that we had some money to work with. We
Yeah.
didn't have to use it all as our down payment. We had some remodel money too. And so even though real estate is relatively expensive in Benton County and Corvallis, you really get the return on your investment.
You do. And
I don't know anybody that has been sad about their real estate investment, but maybe there are some, but
we've moved.
if you can hold on to it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. We've we can never promise return on investment, disclaimer, but we've moved over 400 families at this point, which is a lot. I'm not saying that to be self-aggrandizing, but most years that I've been in business, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average agent does 6. We've moved 400, and only one time ever did we end up having someone lose money on their home. And it was very unfortunate, of course, but it was when they literally bought new construction and then had a job change and had to move very quickly right after. And that's the sort of thing that could. So, yeah, we have a very tight market. There's a lot of demand for many reasons, many of which you're speaking to, and not a lot of supply because it's a slow growth. So real estate tends to be an amazing thing for your long-term finances.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about some of the lifestyle that you get being in Corvallis, as the case. Because we put a pin in this. You mentioned that you really love some of the restaurants and the theater. So what are some of those things that you would highlight for people who are thinking about moving here so that they can get a feel for lifestyle?
It feels to me like there's a lot of sort of family-oriented activities available, which I loved raising kids here. And we like doing some of the homespun movies at the Majestic. Now, to be honest, I haven't been to the Prax yet, but all of my friends that have been to performances at the Prax, the new theater that's on campus, has said it's amazing. So I'm looking forward to that. And on campus, they have Shakespeare on the quad in the summer. It's free and it's fun. You just go picnic and just fun things like you can take your kids to. We've got an amazing library.
We do. We have a great library system in Benton County.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And even though the pool's under repair right now, we have a great swimming pool and a big student aquatic club program. And
I was hoping you were going to mention Osborne Aquatic Center because off the top of my head, I think you do a lot of like aqua aerobics classes,
I do.
All kinds of stuff.
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Right now I'm walking because they're doing repairs there, but yeah. So I just think a city that has a really good library and great parks and a good swimming pool really caters to families, and I love that. And all the bike paths, there's hiking trails and areas in and around Corvallis.
Yeah.
And now they've got all of the bike lanes on all the main streets. You just ride across it and it turns the light green for you. It's pretty great.
Started off being great. It's even better now. You probably remember when I first moved here, I literally moved here because I read about a national bike friendly ranking system.
Yes.
Like nationwide. And that was how I moved here from Florida.
Okay.
And I used to ride my bike into Sheldon Middle School when I was a science teacher and we were working together.
Yeah.
And there's even more infrastructure. Marcia, you're hitting some of the really big topics there. So I'm not trying to get people to just click on our YouTube videos. Channel's not even monetized. But if you haven't seen Bike Vallis, Hike Vallis, Park Vallis, we've got videos that are all about those things specifically. And so I'll put links on the screen for those things too, because they're worth really highlighting and emphasizing. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely enjoy the arts and culture and some of the activities. What are some of the fun restaurants, food scene? Do you ever go to the farmer's market, that kind of stuff?
I love to go to the farmer's market, mainly to pet people's dogs.
It's the dog and kids show.
It really is. And the 4th of July, everyone can come. It's like the dogs and the babies in the wagons, and it's just so cute. It's very homespun.
It is.
Mark and I don't eat out a lot, but I really do love Taco Vor. Isn't that weird?
Taco Vor's great.
I love Taco Vor.
So I always have to figure out which one's which in my head. Taco Vor is the one in Northwest Corvallis near Winco.
Yes.
In the Timber Hill Shopping Plaza. That place is wonderful. Their bean and cheese taco with a little bit of coconut shavings in it.
I know.
For a few bucks.
It's just
the best deal.
They're not really, it's not Mexican food. It's very fusion kind of food, but interesting. I like the roasted cauliflower taco. Yum.
I will try that next time.
It's my favorite.
And I'll toast it to you.
Okay. All right. I like American Dream Pizza. Nobody else has those. When my kids come back to Corvallis for visiting, everybody wants to go to American Dream, especially in the summer when you can sit up on the roof.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
sadly, we don't eat. There's a cajillion Mexican and Asian restaurants. You could hardly go wrong with any of those. And Mark likes Applebee's, so there you are.
Hey,
It's a good menu.
yeah, and it's right by the movie theater.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's funny. I think Ray and I maybe eat out a lot more than other people because in the conversations I've been getting to have, that seems to be a common theme. People are like, oh, I really love these restaurants, but I don't seem to go that often. I do feel like we've got a great local food scene here. I wouldn't call myself a foodie, but we have lots of fresh local ingredients.
Yes.
And that makes the food tasty because we're surrounded by farm fields that look like a patchwork quilt.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I love to buy fruits and vegetables from a farmer's market or going to vegetable stands and going out to Anderson's Blueberries and picking my own blueberries and all of those things.
Oh my gosh. I need to go do some blueberries. We have a mutual friend, Bob, that goes every year and gets a vat, I think is the official term of blueberries. Eats a bunch, puts them on ice cream, pies, freezes the rest. That's like part of the Mid-Valley lifestyle.
Yeah, blueberries.
Blueberries right there.
Blueberries and hazelnut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I've been trying to call them filberts now.
Okay.
To speak Oregonian, right?
Okay. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. It's a fun aspect of the community. Like some people love going apple picking or pumpkin picking in the fall. Blueberries are a big thing around here.
Yeah.
What are some other fun things like that in your guys' life here is like iconic and representative of living in the Mid-Valley?
We like to go find our own Christmas tree and cut it down ourselves.
That's a great example.
Yes.
We are surrounded by Christmas tree farms.
Yeah.
Do we have an accolade in that regard? Is this like a Christmas tree capital producer or something?
I think that Oregon is the #1 Christmas tree shipper in the United States.
I knew there was something, right? Okay.
I still remember when we lived in Arizona, we wanted a fresh Christmas tree. Most people have artificial there, but we just were Oregonians. And anyway, we bought one. We paid a fortune for it, and they promised us it had just been cut in Flagstaff or someplace. And I'm like, really?
I don't know.
We got it home, and it had a tag from Beaverton, Oregon on it.
It had just been shipped to Flagstaff, yes.
Anyway, yeah. And wineries now.
The wineries are beautiful.
Now, I'm not a wine drinker, but people that are like, why didn't Oregon start growing grapes a long time ago? Because you drive through the Willamette Valley, especially south of here, wineries everywhere.
I feel maybe the same way. Like, I'm not a big drinker, but I love if I have family or a friend visiting, just going to the winery. Someone will have a glass of wine. We'll have some filberts and charcuterie. I just love sitting there. They're just gorgeous.
And the scenery. Yeah. Yep. All of that. I love going for drives. I really love the drive from Corvallis to the coast on the Walport Highway. It's like driving through a tunnel of trees in places. It's beautiful.
So our viewer listeners are going to see on the screen, as you say some of these things, links to other videos. We do a lot of narrated driving tours, and one of them is actually showing the drive to Newport, just that people have an understanding of what that feels like.
Yeah.
Because you can just pick up and go on a whim. You're like, I want clam chowder, or I want to go
lunch. Let's go do it. Yeah.
Boom, just go. Yeah. Yeah. It's a wonderful part about living here in the Mid-Valley.
Yep. Yeah. Close to the ocean, close to the mountains.
Yeah.
Lots of rivers, lots of lakes.
So we talk often about how people should come here and be a tourist, and sometimes how they should come here and do a reconnaissance trip, right? The difference between going to the coast versus really figuring out if your grocery store or church fits your needs, right? But on the tourist side of things, what are some more of those drives you like to do, places you like to just explore? Because that's a big part of also living here.
One of my favorite places in Oregon is Silver Falls.
Love it.
Yeah. I love that. Let's see, where else? I really driving over in my old stomping grounds through Cottonwoods and Scio and just through the farmlands over there. I just love that.
We don't have a Silver Falls video. Been to Silver Falls. Oh. So Silver Falls, is it a state park?
Yes. State
park by Silverton, Oregon.
Yes.
Silverton's another lovely slow growth community, actually.
Right.
If we think of a list of slow growth communities in Oregon, or I should say historically slow growth, Corvallis, Little Philomath next door, and Silverton.
Okay.
So it's got a certain charm to it
Mm-hmm.
because the neighborhoods are just so cohesive and it just feels a certain way,
Right.
much like Corvallis does.
Yeah.
So it's a lovely community. There's some great antique stores and the
Yeah.
falls are incredible.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find pictures on my phone, or at the very least, I'll show the website or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite places in Oregon, and the coast, and the drive to and from the coast. And we like to take the back roads and go through Harlan and up Siletz and the small towns. Yeah.
Do you guys ever go to like Eastern Oregon? Do you do snow sports or summer sports and stuff too?
We haven't really done that too much in the winter, but we like to go to Central Oregon in the summer, like to Sun River or Black Butte. We really like Black Butte.
Oh, totally. And I'm realizing I should refer to that as Central Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Black Butte is like a resort area, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Where you can rent out, I think of them as being like townhouses, ski cabin type places.
Yeah, all kinds of cabins. They have some, I think they have some condos too, but we've always just rented cabins. It's a little more rustic, a little more outdoorsy than Sun River, which is a little more developed, a little more upscale.
That's right. Gotcha.
Yeah. And Mark and I really like camping too.
Okay. So you guys are campers?
We hadn't been for a little while, but we pulled out our camping gear maybe 2 summers ago. And so we've done some camping now, and we're back to really enjoying that.
So tell me a little bit about that, because I was raised by a New York City girl. My mom is probably never going camping in her life, and I'm probably the same way. So what is that? And maybe relate that to the weather. Like, what seasons do you go camping? Is it too hot, too cold? Where are some of the spots? Like, what is the camping lifestyle about in this area?
We really only camp we're fair weather campers.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean we haven't been caught in some really big rainstorms at times, which is all part of the adventure. And we really like having big campfires and everybody sitting around and being totally unplugged and no cell reception and all of that. We just really had, and just being outdoors and going on walks and hikes and that sort of thing. Yeah.
That does sound positively magical. I just need to find a way to incorporate a shower routine into all of it.
I will only camp where there are showers.
Okay.
I have camped without showers, not preferred.
I know that people are really outdoorsy here, and I keep joking I need to get out more. I really do, though. I need to get out and have more fun and explore even more of Oregon than I already have. But that's something that's big on the list. And having moved here from somewhere else, I feel like it's noteworthy that people recreate outdoors so much that there's even RV manufacturing in the area. It seems like it's a big part of the economy in Junction City and Salem. There's big RV manufacturers here. Right. So that's part of it.
Yeah. So many of the campgrounds now have big tents or yurts or cabins. So you don't have to pitch a tent necessarily, and you can still go camping and find a place that has bathrooms with warm showers.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay, I got to make this happen. A yurt, I think a yurt is...
Yeah, yurts are fun. Yeah. They usually have even little wall heaters in them.
We're good.
Yeah.
All right, sometime this year, got to find one. There's probably a yurt on Airbnb somewhere.
Yeah. You've got to book them early, though. They book fast. Okay. All right. It was really fun just thinking, why did we choose this? Mark and I have said, especially after traveling and whatever, if we could live anywhere in the world, we would still choose Corvallis.
Yeah, and I love getting your Christmas cards. I love seeing your travels. And it's, obviously you guys are not afraid to pack a bag and go someplace.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, you've got lots of family here. So that creates inertia, even though that's not the right word. But you're obviously here deliberately.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like most people are. This is so different from where I grew up on the East Coast, where it's just assumed that you grow up and you go someplace else. And I do meet a lot of people that either were raised here and realized, oh, this is great, and actually stayed, or came back. And I don't feel like I ever heard that growing up on the East Coast, at least in my particular area. It was a great place, but it's not where people stay.
When we lived in Arizona, in Tempe, people just came and went from my life that 3 years. I just felt like I was constantly giving going away parties, and it was killing me because that isn't how I grew up. And it was like a completely different culture paradigm for me, and I hated it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a different sort of feel and lifestyle when you're here very deliberately and everyone else seems to be too. Speaking of which, you mentioned some of the trade-offs about how our housing costs more here, but look at all you get for it. You don't have to quote numbers like, oh, my power bill is X amount. That's not the point I'm getting at. But do you feel like you can speak to the cost of living here in terms of just generalizations? Are there some things that, like housing, do you feel higher here and some things that are just normal or less? Do you have a feel for that?
I really haven't done a lot of personal comparisons, but it saddens me that I've had teaching colleagues that haven't been able to afford housing in Corvallis. So they're living in a neighboring town, and their children are going to schools in other districts that they're not teaching in because they can't afford housing in Corvallis. I think our city government is well aware of it, and I think there are plans for trying to remedy the affordable housing problem. I don't really know what they are. I'm not an economist. I don't really understand that. I do know that when, a 3-bedroom house rents for $2,000 a month,
If not more.
or if not more,
Yeah.
that's hard for a family, but it's pretty easy for 3 or 4 college students.
Yes.
And they can raise the rents knowing that they're going to be catering to the college students that can work. And young families or families with single income households are having a really hard time paying the rent.
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution to affordable housing is.
The housing cost is challenging here, and I really wish I had an immediate solution. I am taking part in some of these, I want to call them meetings that consultant groups are doing to try to help tackle this. And there are some good ideas that come up there, but I really feel like it's going to need government involvement. And so there's two sides to that coin always, right? There's how much are people getting paid versus how much do things cost. I'm trying to remember, I heard something about the teaching district, the school district, actually hitting a 6-figure benchmark, but maybe for teachers that have been there for 17 years or more.
I've heard that too.
Okay. Do you know any details?
I know that's the case.
Just something along those lines.
Yeah. One of our former colleagues, I don't know if I should mention.
No,
okay.
That's fine.
One of our former colleagues was telling me, hey, we have a 6-figure salary on our salary schedule now, finally.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't get to enjoy that.
I didn't
by any
either,
stretch.
but I didn't finish my career. I guess I did finish my career, but I didn't finish a conventional length career.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in depth in my story because that's not the point of this video. But when Ray and I bought our first place in Corvallis, I was a school teacher and she was working, let's call it an assortment of just normal jobs, not really career path, high paying things. And the way that we had to make it work was to basically make our own subsidized housing. We bought a duplex and house hacked. We lived in half of it and rented out the other half. And I still feel like that was one of the smartest things we've ever done in our lives.
I remember being at a party there.
Yeah. But that's not necessarily what everyone wants to or should have to do.
And I have a girlfriend that is single and she rents out a bedroom and that's how she makes her house payment. Yeah. There's creative solutions, and I know that Corvallis has Willamette neighborhood housing, and there's several other housing support agencies for families, but housing is a problem.
Yeah, it's very much high demand, and it's a student-dominated rental market.
Yes.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is it's not great when you buy, but it's really great when you sell.
Yeah, values have really been insulated here.
Yeah.
And I think you know this about my passion as a real estate professional. That's what I want for people, is to build equity instead of just renting for their whole lives. And I'm determined to actually finish my first book this year. So that's got to happen. 2025, we're making it happen.
All right.
But that's the whole point.
All right.
Is I feel like that's the impact and the legacy that I want to have in this. What are some additional things that you would want to put on people's radar if they're thinking about moving here that would be fun for them to be aware of and check out when they visit?
For sure, they would need to walk through Oregon State University campus.
So even if they're not coming here to be an OSU student, check the campus out.
Yes, it's so beautiful, especially in the spring when all the rhododendrons are blooming. Oh my gosh, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And in the fall when all the maple trees have turned color. Yeah, Oregon State University campus is one of those iconic, beautiful old campuses that are pictured in books. Yeah, it's beautiful. The old architecture, and they've done such a great job of maintaining it. So that for sure. I think our Riverwalk is pretty beautiful down on the riverfront.
Yeah.
And it's a bike path and a walking path along there. I remember when that was a ghetto down there.
Really?
There were no restaurants. It was just industrial garages, fences.
Now it's all cute restaurants and some farmers market.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Okay.
In the beginning. Yeah. And our downtown, we've maintained a downtown without having a shopping mean, unless you get to call Winco.
I don't think I don't think the Timber Hill Shopping Center where Winco, our 24/7 grocery store, counts as a shopping mall. That you're actually getting at something that's really worth emphasizing. Whether this is good or bad is subjective, but Corvallis is the kind of place where people don't tend to want the big chains, right? That's why we laughed when you talked about Mark liking Applebee's, because I feel like the joke in Corvallis is that if some chain wants to come in, people are going to protest it. It's like you've got lots of little local businesses here, and if you want to go to Costco, or I guess we have a Home Depot here, but like Costco, Lowe's, Target, Heritage Shopping Mall, all that stuff is next door in Albany. And we have just either downtown or 9th Street with some commercial stuff, or just little pockets of strip malls.
Right.
And that's it. Like, it's all about local businesses.
Which is good and bad.
Yeah. There's always flip sides to the coin.
A couple years ago, I decided I was going to do all my Christmas shopping in Corvallis. I was going to buy local. I was going to keep my money in town. It could not be done.
I was going to say, did you take out a second mortgage for
No, it couldn't be done. The products just aren't that available.
It wasn't everything you were looking for.
No.
Okay.
So I did my best, and I still do like to shop local and support local artisans and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the double-edged sword for living off of the I-5 corridor.
That's a good point too. And that's actually something that could also be good or bad. I really enjoy the vibe of Corvallis not having I-5 going through it because it's less busy, but that also means that commuters have an extra 15 minutes to get to I-5. Yeah. If they're commuting north or south. You draw a good comparison of just some of the differences that don't show up necessarily, as we say, like on a Wikipedia page, right? But are part of the feeling of the different communities. And we're not trying to say one is better or not. That's not the point of all this. I take a regular trip on Sunday afternoon to Costco.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I want to live in a place that's only like big shopping. I'm more of a small town kind of person. And Albany still feels pretty much the same in that regard. It's about the same size. But I certainly wouldn't be moving to Las Vegas or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, just to have access to shopping. So that's a fun response to what are some things that are worth highlighting. I appreciate that.
I think the walking paths and the hiking areas around Corvallis are worth thinking about too. Bald Hill, PV Arboretum, Finley Wildlife Refuge area.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And even over by Shelderland, the Jackson Fraser Wetlands Walk. And
love that area.
Yeah, me too.
I thought about proposing to Ray at Jackson Fraser Wetlands. To me, that's just so iconic and beautiful.
Yeah.
I ended up proposing in Alaska, but that's a great spot there. Yeah. I do need to make a video. It's on the list. Wetlands in Corvallis, because we've got Jackson Fraser and the Lake Sunset part.
Right.
Southwest as well.
Yep.
So we'll get that later.
All right.
Nice. Let's see. Is there any other advice that you would have for people, or anything you'd do differently? Anything come to mind in that regard?
I think if people are thinking about Corvallis, they need to spend some time here and just scope out neighborhoods. Mark and I really like the woods, but there's Vineyard Mountain. There's places that are even farther out too. And then there are places that have more new construction. And if you like that kind of look, and close by neighbors and the neighborhood associations. We've got those sort of neighborhoods too. That wasn't our thing, but
Sure.
some people like that. Just spend some time scoping out neighborhoods, and for sure look at Oregon State campus, go down to the river, walk around downtown, try out some local restaurants, that sort of thing. And then they should contact Team K Realty.
Oh, nice.
Seriously, though, I think Team K is a really excellent resource because not only do you have a lot of in-house skills, you have a lot of community partnerships with other businesses and can make referrals for people and point them in the right direction when they have other kinds of needs.
We do enjoy that. We enjoy being a resource for people.
Yeah.
And so come to think of it, if you're bragging on myself and my team already, we didn't actually work directly. I didn't help you buy your house. I wasn't in real estate back then.
You helped me sell my mother's.
But come to think of it, I helped you sell your mother's house, and I've done maybe a couple of...
And our daughters.
For Chelsea and Josh, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 for Chelsea and Josh.
So are we any good at this?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I have no problem recommending you to any of my friends. And I've sent a couple of other families your direction. Yeah.
Yes, you have.
And I feel really good about that because I know what your work ethic is and your integrity.
Thank you.
And I think you're very skilled at getting to know people and matching them with housing that kind of would fit their needs and their family situation.
Marcia, as I'm hearing you just flatter me, I'm honored for so many reasons there. And it occurs to me that you did a beautiful testimonial at one of our client appreciation events along those lines as well. And so it's worth highlighting, actually, that it's not just all about me anymore, too.
Yeah.
At this point, it really is myself and the team. And it's a pleasure to be a part of something like that and be a trusted advisor and part of the team.
That's a good description, a trusted advisor, I think. And I think another attribute that makes me feel comfortable in recommending you is that I know that you're not a high pressure kind of a person, that you want to help fill a need or be a resource, but you're not going to try to make a deal that isn't appropriate for your buyer or your seller.
and thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
This is a sales profession, but we view it as a service profession. And yes, people find us on YouTube, and that's icing on the cake, and it's wonderful, but it's always been word of mouth business working by referral. Mm-hmm. We just simply believe that as long as you do well by other people, then you'll have a good business later.
Yes.
So thank you for seeing.
Yep. And I think just looking at all of your client appreciation activities, festivities that you put on for all of us, that your clients become your friends.
That's the fun part about this, is the people, not the houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that way. We don't force friendships when a relationship starts simply professionally as a business. But it's neat to get to build a community around a business. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for being a part of that.
You're welcome.
Well, Marcia, I really appreciate you taking the time to come in and talk with me and make this one of the resources for other people. It means a lot because you could be doing anything with your time, and this is wonderful. I've enjoyed getting to connect with you today. And folks, that's what this is all about. If we can be a resource for you, we're not just here to simply sell you a house. That's not how we view this. Let us know. We'd be happy to just hop on a casual Zoom call or phone call with you and just help you pre-plan your visit and hopefully get to meet you as part of that visit. It's not just about buying or selling a house. We enjoy being trusted advisors. Do all the YouTube stuff, all the normal things like subscribe so you don't miss a video, all that. And we're never too busy for you. And our contact info is at the slide at the end of this. So thank you so much and bye for now.